Today we're going to look at how to build art portfolios using Google Slides. We're going to cover a couple of different topics. We're going to start with creating a site. We're going to look at basic tools like adding text and images. We're going to learn how to use templates to make our work look neater and make our workload lighter. We're going to learn how to add captions to our photos. We're going to learn a few ways that we can customize our site, and we're going to learn how to publish and share our finished portfolio. First, we're going to create a site. So we can actually just type into the search bar sites.google.com and that will take us to our Google Sites. It is linked to our Google account, so anything we make in here will be saved. I'm going to click the plus sign and make a new site. The first thing I'm going to do is give my site a name. I'm going to use my first name and I'm going to use my last initial and the word art portfolio so that I know whose it is and what it is that I'm looking at. After naming the actual site, I'm going to then type in some words to let the viewer know what they're looking at when they visit the site. In this case, I'm just going to call it Aurora's Art Portfolio. First, we're going to check out some of the tools. If you look to the right, there is a menu that says Insert. In that Insert area, you have Text Box, you have Images, you have Embed, you have Drive. You also have a lot of different templates that you can use. So to add a text box, I just click and drag and it will let me type. To add an image, I'll click the images and it will let me select an image from my Google Drive or from the internet. I can also click on the picture and it will give me the option to create a caption. What's cool about this is it means that the picture and the text are going to stick together like a little family. And I can click and drag them around and resize them as I want to. One of the cool things about Google Sites is that it allows you to use templates, which are pre-designed forms that use text and images, called layouts in this case, and it allows me to click and drag these layouts or templates into my area and keeps everything organized and in a nice grid, which is really nice when you're designing and you don't want to mess around with where all the text boxes go. So I'm going to click on one of these layouts and I'm going to drag it into my site, and you can see it has a square that's ready for a picture or a YouTube video. You also have another rectangle that's ready for text. So I'm going to choose an image from my Google Drive. And I can't really remember where I saved this image, so I'm just going to, I know it was called Canvas, so I'm going to search for it and it's going to bring up any files that have the word Canvas in it. And there's the image that I'm looking for. I'm going to select the image I want, I'm going to insert it, and I notice that the shape of the rectangle is not a shape that fits the whole image, so I'm going to grab one of those little circle anchor points and I'm going to resize it. Next, I'm going to add some informational text about it. So remember, I copied this image from a Frida Kahlo still life, so I definitely want to give her credit with the way I title my work so nobody thinks I'm trying to steal her work. This is very clearly something that I copied from another artist. And I feel like that text is a little big, so I'm going to resize it. You can see that it doesn't give me numbers for my type size. It gives me things like title, heading, subheading, and paragraph. That's a tool the internet uses to make sure that websites look pretty organized by only allowing us several sizes. Next, I'm going to use some of the reflection questions that I'm going to provide for you to reflect on this artwork, reflect on my process and the ideas behind it. Now I'm going to add a caption to my image. I'm going to click on the image and I'm going to click on the three dots and go down to add caption. This is going to create a block of text that's attached to the picture, so it's not a separate floating box. I'm going to include several things with my caption. I'm going to use the title. I'm going to use the date or year it was created. I'm going to use the materials how it was made, and I'm going to use the dimensions if it's applicable. With digital art or movies, people don't really care about the size, but a sculpture, people might really be interested to know if it's 20 feet tall or if it's only 2 inches tall. I can also change the size of the caption to make the text look like it fits better with the image. There are a few ways that you can customize your site to make it look the way that you want to. If you click on the top right and click themes, Google Sites will give you a variety of different color and font schemes that will allow you some flexibility with how your website presents. You can also change the image at the top of your page, often called the header or the banner, and you can choose an image, either an image that you've made or a photograph that you've taken in order to make your site reflect more of your brand as an artist. For demonstration purposes, I'm just going to grab a photo off my own Google Drive of myself. As an artist, I don't know if I would use a selfie in my own portfolio just because I would want my portfolio to be about my art, but it is your choice what kind of photo you put in your header or banner area. When I'm done working, my site will be saved to my Google Drive or to the sites.google.com. You can look and see my recent sites. There's the site I just made. To publish our site for the first time, we're going to click the Publish button and we're going to give it a name. We already named it at the beginning, so it's going to copy that. I'm going to add a couple dashes so that it is more clear to a reader what the site is about. It's Aurora-M-Art-Portfolio. That's just a personal preference. And then I'm going to click Publish. So that's actually creating the web address for my site. You can also add collaborators by sharing your website. So in this case, I'm going to share my site with myself so that you guys can see how I want you to share it with me. So I can type in any user on my network and it will allow me to share it with someone who can then also make changes to the website and not just view it. And that concludes our presentation on how to create an art portfolio in Google Sites.